Yeah, and we made sure, they were lined up. That's like the most important thing. So, I'm not gonna do very much on the front with you at all, but I'll do the first one. Okay, here we go. Number 1. It says, order the speeds. This is so important because they're gonna try to trick you later on this very page, so you better underline the words least to greatest. Least means smallest, all the way to the biggest. And here's the speeds over here. So here we go. Let's write them. Driver A was 145.155. And I'm going to tell you, like I told you yesterday, you can look on your paper. Get this off your paper. So you don't have to look at my board to get this. Get this off your paper. So look at your paper right now. You write it off your paper while I write it off my paper. My paper is the same thing as your paper. I'll throw this away. So did you see what we did yesterday? So in a minute,
Yes.
I want you to actually watch this video first, and I want you to do this while they're doing this, because I don't want you to get out of order.
Okay,
Okay.
let's pop this buddy down.
Well, 1-4 was due today.
I know.
I don't know. Don't worry about it. I'm not on that yet. Okay, so you should have this, and it should look just like mine. Are your decimals lined up on top of your decimals? Say yep.
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. Get your pencils ready, and we're putting least. We're picking the least one. So ones, ones, and ones. What do you know about that? Fours, fours, and fours. What do you know about that? 5, 5, and 4. What do you know about that? The 4 is smaller, so there's your number 1, because that's what we were putting them in order from. Smallest to greatest. Now we're going to compare these top 2. What do you know about 5 and 5? Same. What do you know about 1 and 8? We're looking for the smaller one. 1 is the smaller, so there's your number 2, and there's your number 3. So write those right here in order from the smallest, that would be your number 1, then your number 2, number 3, and put your semicolon in between, okay? I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do that.
What I think I can do, but so I can do this, I can do that.
Yeah, I want you to do Thursdays first, then Fridays, okay? But just follow along and it'll make sense. But I do want you to watch the video from yesterday, okay? Okay, here we are. Number 2. Driver D had a speed between, what does this say? Driver A and driver C. So here's driver A and here's driver C. And where's D going to be? Right in between. And so you're going to pick a possible speed for driver D. Well, let's look at driver A and driver C, okay? Driver A is 145 something. Driver C is 144 something. So what's the smaller one? Is it the 145 something or the 144 something? 144. So let's put that on top. So on your paper, I want you to put the smaller one on top. Then leave some space. Okay, and I'm getting this right from driver C. You write this on your paper from driver C. You're depending too much on me. You look on your paper. Driver C, leave some space, and then put driver A underneath it. Put driver A, but leave some space. So you should have driver C on top because it's smaller. Then you should have some space, and then you should have driver A underneath it. And make sure your decimals are lined up. So something like this, okay? And you need space in between. I said that. I said leave some space. Because your answer that you're going to come up with is right there in the middle. Come on, get that written. So here we go. Eyes up here. Okay, you've had time to write it. What does this say? Driver D had a speed where?
Between.
Driver who? A. Wasn't this driver A?
Yeah.
And driver who?
C.
Now why did I put C up here? Because it's smaller, and typically what do you get? Bigger as you go. Sometimes it's the opposite, but this time it's smaller and we're going to get bigger. We've got to come up with a number right here. Now here's the thing. My number might be different than your number. It says write a possible speed. So as long as your number is bigger than 144.809, but hey, it's got to be smaller than 145.155. You've got to pick a number that goes right there in between. Write that right there on number 2.
Okay.
It's got to be bigger than the first one, but smaller than the last one. Write it on number 2. Write it right here. It's your answer. Write it on number 2. Okay, so I'm going to come around and look and see if I like your answers. Okay, I agree. It's going to be bigger than this, but smaller than this. It's going to be like the meat in the sandwich. Is that what you picked? Yeah. I agree with that. Show me what you picked. I agree with that. Okay, but I don't agree with that because look, that 6 is bigger than that 5. It's going to be in between. So that's too big. That's too big. Look.
No, it's up
What?
here.
Oh, you changed it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. I agree with that.
Is it?
Okay, show me what number you picked. Okay, whoa, that's way too little. It's got to be bigger than this, but smaller than this. So 135 is not bigger than 144. This is too, oh yeah, that'll work. Let me see what you picked. Is that a 4? Okay, well, let's do a little bit better on that. Whoops, let's bring those lines down like that. Okay, so where were the numbers? Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Show me what you wrote. Where's your answer? You haven't written the answer right. Okay, I agree with that. Okay, I don't understand why you're putting 133. Okay, it's got to be bigger than this. So if this says 144, you can't put 133. 133 is not bigger than 144. 133 is smaller. I mean, let's be honest. Look up here. The only numbers I could put right here was a 144. Don't y'all agree? Or a 145. Those are the only 2 numbers I could start with, was a 144 or a 145. If I did like this, what do you know about 131 something? It's what? Smaller than this. Where would 131 go? Somewhere up here. Yeah. Where would 133 go? Somewhere about right here. So it's got to be 144 or 145, and then you've got to figure out what the decimals are, okay? So I do want to point out a couple of things. Look at number 7. 1.403. If you're writing 1.403, write this on your scrap paper. And you're comparing it to 1.4. 1.4 would look just like this on your scrap paper. Don't forget, this is like, refreshing your memory. Don't forget, look, you can do that. Shake your head, big time. Yeah, you want to do that. So let's start comparing. What do you know about 1-to-1s? What do you know about 4s to 4s? What do you know about 0s to 0s? What do you know about 3 to 0? Which one's bigger? The 3? So that's this side. So open your big mouth that way. Okay, you can do this. Say, yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
Okay, look down here at 9 to 12. Which way does it say to order them? Oh my gosh, that's important. That means you're starting with the biggest number that time and going down to the smallest. That's stretching our brain, so we're not doing it the same way all the time. So this time the bigger numbers, hey, are gonna be up here, and the smaller numbers are gonna be down here, okay? But up here we did it opposite, didn't we? What did we have up here? The smaller to the greatest. Okay, turn the page.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, number 13, write 3 different fractions. You need to underline the 3. 3 different fractions that each match the shaded part of the drawing. Well, the first thing is, come on, Xander. The first thing is we've got to count the blue things out of all of it. So let's start with the blue. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of, keep going. 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's your first answer. 8 out of 12. Say it like I said it. 8 out of 12. Okay. Now we're going to turn this into 2 more fractions though, because we need 3. So here's what we're going to do, and I think you did this in 4th grade, but maybe you didn't, so you're going to do it a lot in 5th grade. These are both even numbers. So if these are even numbers, these can be reduced. Their fraction can be reduced. And anything that's an even number can always be reduced by the number 2. So I'm going to pretend like I'm on a diving board, and I'm 2. And I'm going to dive into that 8 like a division problem. How many times can 2 dive into an 8? 2 times what is 8? There's your first answer. Over. Now we got to do the same thing for the bottom. I'm a 2 and I'm diving into that 12. 2 times what is going to get me 12? 6. There's your second answer. Now we need one more fraction. Now look, these are still even. So I got to do the same thing. Since they're even, 2 will go into it. Watch me. I'm a 2. I'm diving into this 4. 2 times what is going to get me 4? 2. There's your top number. And I'm still a 2. And I'm diving into the 6. 2 will go into the 6 how many times? 3. There's your answers. Okay, that's how you reduce a fraction. Okay. Number 14. The total cost to stay one night at Sleepyhead Motel is $119 without breakfast. You need to underline that. $119 without breakfast. You want to sleep in, you don't want to go eat the free waffle. Okay? You just want to stay in the hotel room. But it's $142 with breakfast. Okay? That must be a pretty good breakfast because that's a pretty big price increase. So here's the key words. Here's where we're at. Put your finger on what. Read these 4 words with me. What is what does that say right there? What does difference mean to do? Subtract. So circle that. And out to the side, if you need this help, put a little subtract right there. So you're going to subtract $142. That's not right now. In a minute, I'm going to let you do it. $142 is with the breakfast. Minus, how much is without the breakfast?
19.
Not 19, 119. And that's going to be your answer. Difference always means subtract. Always, always, always.
Okay.
Number 15. Tanya. What did Tanya buy? She bought the what? Least expensive. That's important. Tanya bought the least expensive branded dog food. But Eddie, what did Eddie buy? He bought the most expensive. Now notice how I circled Eddie's, but I underlined Tanya's. I think that's important. So now you've got to come over here and you've got to decide which one Eddie bought and which one Tanya bought. So let's go ahead and write Tanya. And let's go ahead and write Eddie. And it's just letters that you're going to have to put. So, just for instance, hey, I'm making this up. This is not the right answer, but look. Let's say I thought if Tanya's the least, let's say I thought that was the least, okay? Then I would just put Tanya is A. But that's not right, okay? I'm just telling you how to write the answer, okay? Don't do it right now. I'll give you time in a minute. Okay, number 16. Why can it help to line up decimal points before comparing and ordering numbers with decimals? Why do you have to line up? It's not just help. Why is it a must? Why do you have to line up decimals? You know, Brooklyn?
So like if you put the wrong number, like under, you're gonna get the wrong answer.
Okay, she said if you put the wrong number under it, you'll get the wrong answer. And I agree with her. What were you gonna say? Did you have your hand raised?
Yes.
What were you
I
gonna
was
say?
going to say it so you don't get confused, like what the.
Okay, okay, what were you gonna say? Because I agree with all this.
I don't know if it was
Oh, I thought you had your hand raised. Okay, I agree with everything. I'm just gonna word it a little different, okay? So, get ready to write. You are comparing the same digits. It's not so much that you get confused, it's so you're comparing the same digits. Kiara, I just gave you an answer. Hope, I just gave you an answer. So, you're comparing the same digits. That's your answer. So, you are comparing the same digits.
digits. I spelled digits.
D-I-G-I-T-S.
Okay.
D-I-G-I-T-S. So you're comparing the same digits. If you don't line them up, like if it looked like this, oh my goodness. What do you really know about those numbers? What do you really know about these numbers? They're equal. Somebody say they're equal.
They're equal.
But how do you know? Is your decimal lined up on top of your decimal? No. So why is it helpful? So you can, what did we say? Compare the same digits. Okay. Here we go. Number 17. The heights of 4 boys measured 152.0. Let's write this. 152.0. Did I hear my name?
No, I said they're so tall.
Who's talking? What are you saying?
I said that's so tall.
Oh, so tall? But it's centimeters. 150.75. Okay, get this off. Get this. Are you writing this? Come on. You should be writing this. It's right on your paper too. Gosh, I hope you're lining up your digits like we just talked about. Look, I got it right here. I got those right there off your paper. Anybody thinking what I'm thinking? Anybody reading my mind? What am I thinking?
You need to compare them
Yeah, not yet. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
as yes.
Yes. You need a 0 there, and you need a 0 there. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is heights of men, or boys, whatever. But you know what this looks like to me? This looks like money. So I think it would be easier to think of it like money than heights of men. Okay, what does this look like in money? Come on, speak up. What does this look like in money? $150.75. $149.50. $149.25. So there's all the heights. Let's start with Bradley. What do we know about Bradley? What does it say? That he's the tallest. So look over here and see how much is the biggest money. Don't say it. Just put it. Put a B out beside. That would make B be the most money. Okay, what'd you pick, Eric?
No, 150.
You picked this?
Yeah.
That's the tallest? That's the most money?
No.
This is the most money. How much is this in money?
$152.
$152. What's this in money? $150. So this is B. This is Bradley. Did everybody put a B by Bradley? That's what you should have done. Now let's mark out Bradley. Let's skip this middle part and go right to Josh. What does it say Josh is? Shortest, meaning the smallest amount of money. So Xander, tell us what's the smallest amount of money up there? Come on. Is this the smallest? Okay, Say it like money. Say it like money. $100
$149
and 25 cents. I agree. There's Josh. He's the shortest. But you should have already had that written. You shouldn't have waited on Xander's answer. You should have done it.
I already did.
I'm not talking to you. Now we're on Calvin. We're right here on Calvin. So we found the tallest and we found the shortest. Now we got to find the middle. So what does it say right here? What do we know about Calvin? Calvin's taller than Josh, but shorter than Mark. He can't be the shortest. What's left? He can't be the shortest of what's left. So who would be the shortest of what's left? No, can't be Calvin because Calvin's taller. So Mark is the shortest of what's left. We know Josh was the very shortest. But what's left, we know Mark has to be the shortest of what's left. So Hope, what's shortest of what's left?
104.
Say it like money.
$149.50.
Okay, so this is Mark. So what does this leave, guys? Calvin. And what's the question say though? What is Mark's height? So go over here and figure out on your paper where you wrote Mark and write that number down. Where did you write Mark on your paper? And write that number. Write it. I don't want to know the answer. I already know the answer. Okay. Number 18. Jeree is thinking of a number less than 28.431, but greater than 28.405. So let's write 28.431 on your scrap paper. Leave some space. Leave some space. And then put 28.404. Leave some space because you're thinking of a number in between. Bentley, write that. Leave some space. Okay, so let's see if we've done this right. Okay, I need your help. Jeree is thinking of a number less than this, so wouldn't that be right here?
Yeah.
But greater than this, so wouldn't that be right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the first one, 28.435. If I write, is everybody watching? 28.435, is that less than this?
No.
No, where would 28.435 go?
No.
Up here, wouldn't it? So that's not the answer. What about 28 point, say this number.
342.
Okay, help me. 28.432. What do you think about that, Luke? You like that answer?
Yeah.
You do? Let's see. Watch. What's this number supposed to be? Less than this. So, oh, it's 342. Okay, sorry.
This is not about this question.
Well, I'm not on this. I want to stay on this question. We'll go back to your answer in a minute. Sorry, I read it wrong. Okay, hey, eyes up here. Come on, because I'm fixing to let you guys do this on your own. Let's see if this is right. 28.432. What do you know about 28.342? Is that smaller than that?
No.
Yeah, it is, because isn't the 3 smaller than the 4?
Yes.
But now what does this have to be? Bigger than this. Let's see if it is. 28, 3 and 4. What do you know about that?
3 small.
That won't work. Yep, that won't work.
I don't think.
Let's try the next one. 28.430. Okay, Xander, your eyes should be up here.
Yeah.
Is that and that the same as that and that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that compared to that?
Yeah.
And does that compare to that?
Yeah.
Is that bigger than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now what do we know about this number? This number has to be bigger than this number. So let's see. Is that and that the same?
Yeah.
Is that and that the same?
Yeah.
Is that and that the same?
Yeah.
Is that bigger than that?
Yeah.
Then there's your answer. It had to fit in between. It had to be smaller than one, but bigger than the other. Number 19. During this year's basketball season, Michael averaged 22.075 points per game. Look, this is important, and we talked about this yesterday. Which numbers? If you hear numbers, what does that mean?
There's more.
You have more than what?
One.
More than one answer, okay? And look what you're looking for, the numbers that are less than. So, I did this for you yesterday, and I'm going to do this again, but I'm not going to tell you the answer, okay? Watch what I'm going to do. I think it'll help. Do you see how this has got a decimal in 1, 2, 3 places? Say yep.
Yes.
Then I think everything down here needs a decimal in 1, 2, 3 places. So, excuse me, here's my decimal, 1, 2, 3 places. Here's my decimal, 1, 2, 3 places. There's my decimal, 1, 2, 3 places. 1, 2, 3 places, and that has 1, 2, 3 places. So do you see what you're doing? You're picking numbers smaller than that. Shake your head if that makes sense. Okay, pencils down and look at me. So here's what you're gonna do. Practice Buddy 1-4, that was due today. So I'm fixing to put that in the grade book. You're gonna do today's paper, and now you have Practice Buddy 1-5 to do. It's not due over the weekend. You know how I'm giving you like a couple of days? But if you have plenty of time, I do want you to work on it because it's gonna be due next week, okay? Got it? Say got it.
Got it.
Go. Okay, so you know what you have to do?